Hello everyone, this is White Wolf and we're going to be going live, and I wanted to talk about becoming the twin heart when we align the mind and the heart together from our desires, but we're also channeling from our aligned actions. We're channeling from that source of creation. We're channeling from that source of abundance. And we actually see what is authentic, and we see the blurb of creation kind of come out of us because it's just something that you do, it's something that you channel, it's something that you align your vibration towards. And it's not just something that you are, it's something that you are becoming the I am. So when you allow yourself to do this, you allow yourself to flow with the energy. You allow yourself to let go and to receive and to seek internally. And you allow yourself to have the question, which is the philosophy of life. And when you have the philosophy of life, you understand that you always check yourself before you wreck yourself, but you also seek deeper within yourself. You're always searching for the question, searching for something new, searching for that inspiration. And when you're becoming the twin heart, you allow yourself to channel from a state of becoming the I am presence, the higher self, the embodiment of God manifested in the human form. But it doesn't allow you to give in to fear. It allows you to do stuff that you wouldn't normally be comfortable doing. It allows you to not have butterflies or triggers or false emotions and false projections. And you don't allow yourself to give into that power because you've totally shifted into a different vibration and a different configuration of energy, and you align your causes and your effects, because the twin heart allows you to be the infinity signature. It allows you to be infinitesimally amazing because you are becoming both the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, like I said earlier. And you allow yourself to channel from that source of creation because you're allowing some flow, but you're also allowing reciprocation. So when you allow yourself to do this and you give yourself to this, because then you're not giving your allegiance to anything, you're not giving your power away to anything. You're not allowing your belief systems to not support you. And you're also not allowing yourself to be controlled or manipulated by other energy, people, places, and things, and it's allowing you to be non-attached and practicing that detachment. It's allowing you to channel from that source of energy that created you. The twin heart is when we fully immerse ourselves within the absolute reality. And that absolute reality allows everything to be the heart of the universe, allows it to be the heart of creation. It allows you to create everything from that standpoint of 0 point creation to where the light of awareness can begin. So you allow yourself to almost restart your life, but it's almost as if you just initiated that God presence within yourself. You're harnessing your will when you master the twin heart. There's a lot of people who do it. Master Co does it. There's a lot of people who do it, I believe, in the Buddhist cultures and things of that nature. So the twin heart, and this is my interpretation of it, this is my channeled knowledge of it, this is my embodiment of it. So if you don't resonate with it, take what resonates and what doesn't. Also, you guys can book private sessions with me for $70 for psychic readings, healings, activations, and also healing session for $60 and psychic class for $50. But my interpretation is as if you are an energetic download itself. You are the new DNA strand. You are the new prophet that redesigns and becomes the architect of your life, and you finally get to have some control over how your story goes. You have some control how you feel, but you also are aware when you feel bad, and you're also aware when you need to psychically protect yourself. So it's like you're tapping into these psychic subatomic particles, and then you're tapping into that particle accelerator that stems from different waves and streams of consciousness, different revenues of consciousness, and it generates from that little particle that expands into different multiverses, into different people, into different aspects of the I am presence, the monad, the I am presence, but also seeing that little mustard seed of that particle accelerator. It's kind of like the Big Bang Theory, but this is what you start as. So you allow yourself to move and project from that little seed that you plant, and then it turns into a whole landscape. It turns into a feeling, a sensation, energy, meditation. It turns into whatever you want it to be. So when you allow yourself to channel from that little particle accelerator, then that circuitry, those light codes, that new DNA, that revamping of our mind-body-spirit complex will allow us to implement an act of service. So when we allow ourselves to implement an act of service, we allow ourselves to really act on non-self-serving desires. It's okay to follow the desires of your heart, but most of the time we focus on our pain, we focus on our suffering, we focus on what we are lacking. And then we bring the attention away from ourselves and we channel from that embodiment of that little particle accelerator that reconnects us to our spiritual origin, that connects us with our soul family, and connects us with our soul tree. And people, places, and things, and circumstances and experiences that generate different ways of subtracting and manifesting cause and effect. Now, I know that in history class they told you about cause and effect, but this is much different, meaning that you can generate a different cause that will generate different timelines, that will allow you to shift different vibrations, that will not allow you to attract certain circumstances. For a person who talks a lot, sometimes I have a hard time talking. Anyway, what you have to understand with the twin heart, what you're doing is that you're allowing yourself to be energy. You're not allowing yourself to assume that you're a person, assume a position, assume this thought, or assume that you're psychically protecting yourself. But you are the energy that initiates every single thing within your reality, within the scope of consciousness, within everything that you do. You are the consciousness that projects everything into awareness. That is the twin heart. And because you first have to transcend the human mind, and then you start channeling from your heart, and then you have to transcend the body, because your body has a specific science, right? If you eat a lot of crap food, if you don't take care of yourself, your body's not going to be okay. So you have to take care of your body. And I'm not saying to eat healthy, right? But your mind and your body, and then you encompass the spirit. When all of that is aligned, then you become that non-physical being. So when you become that non-physical essence, and then you totally let go of the physical sense, you allow yourself to balance the non-physical aspects of reality with the physical acts of reality. So you allow yourself to see that you're balancing out the way that you feel physically, but also non-physically. Like this person, sometimes, like this person said, I'm not eating chips. But I had my guides tell me, and God told me to eat a bowl of ice cream, because I haven't had one in a very long time. So God told me to eat a bowl of ice cream the other night for some reason, and I started exercising a lot, and I stayed away from like fast food. I didn't totally eat healthy, but it's the very fact that I listened because that's what they wanted me to do. And it was a simple act. That simple act, you don't realize, can have a different effect on the whole part of your reality. You know, seeing that person at the store and saying that you're going to get through it could change someone's life literally, because you spoke faith into them, because that's obedience, that's divine guidance. And when you follow that and you don't question it, and I'm not saying that you have to do everything that your guides tell you to do, because that's not a good balance either. So you have to balance it out, because your guides give you options so that maybe you can make a decision for yourself. A lot of people always say, oh, I listen to everything my guides tell me. Well, your guides sometimes want you to take the initiative to make a decision for yourself. And you can put energy into everything that you do. You can put energy into the chips. That could bless you. That could be of nutrients. A lot of people think that it's always about cleansing, doing juice cleanses, doing healthy stuff, and it's not always about that, but it's putting the intention in everything. We have the ability to change the weather if we really believe so. So we have the ability to change the weather. We have the ability with our intention. And we have the ability to transcend the human condition, the way that we condition ourselves to feel, to think, to perceive, and also not to behave in a certain way. Because people think that spiritual behaviors are acceptable, right? That certain spiritual behaviors are acceptable. Now, but if you channeled yourself authentically, and you may have said a curse word, you may have said something that was very brash, but it got to the point and it got to the heart of the matter. Some people would say that's out of character as a light worker. That's out of character that you said something like that. But you don't realize that another person heard that message that resonated so deeply, that spoke to their heart, that allowed them to heal and allowed them to lift themselves up. And they got fired up and they wanted to do something very inspirational, right? So it's really just seeing the intent that you have and the energy that you're carrying and the authenticity that you bring, and knowing that we always just have to pack a punch and we always have to live life as a celebration. Being the twin heart allows us to see that we are infinite in our nature. We are made in the image of the I Am Presence. We are made in that perfection. But to see our imperfections and allow it to calibrate and to balance out and see our perfections. Because you don't have to be a perfectionist to be perfect. And I use that oxymoron for a reason, because everybody thinks in the spiritual community that we have to be perfect, that we have to conduct ourselves in a certain manner. But what if it's like if you were dancing. Like if you're on the dance floor and you're really feeling yourself, you're feeling your partner, you're feeling the way that you move with your partner, right? You're dancing with them and you're feeling that essence, and it doesn't feel weird. It feels like you're looking into your wife's eyes or your boyfriend's eyes, and you have that love and you have that admiration, you have that bliss, and the music is playing and you're just having a good time. You would not act weird and just feel like, oh my God, this feels weird. You wouldn't have that moment, because that's when the restriction comes. That's when the collapsing of your energy happens. But if you were at a restaurant and they allowed dancing and you were dancing with your partner, you wouldn't for some reason just act all weird and kind of close up and like, everybody's watching me. No, you would be completely comfortable and in your own space, because you created space so that you create differently. Because you felt that moment, you felt the bliss of that moment, looking into their eyes, going on a run, or doing something that inspires you. That's why the energy and the intention and the vocality and the way that we address certain issues within the spiritual community to where we can have resolution. That's why the twin heart is resolution to all of your issues and your problems and all of the restrictions and the limitations. Trade out your limitations for appreciation, and trade out your expectations for gratitude, because then you're not putting it on a pedestal. Like a lot of people will put this certain like movie actress or movie star on a pedestal. Well, of course you're not going to attract the movie star or actress in your life, because you've already put them so far above you. You're never going to attract a relationship like that if that's what you wanted. Ultimately, I don't think it's always about what's on the outside. I truly believe what's on the inside, because chakras attract, and people are attractive beings and magnetic beings. So it's kind of like if you want that new job, you can't put that job on a pedestal. You can't put that interview on a pedestal. You can't put, if you want some friendships, you can't like act weird around the rich guy. You want to ask the rich guy questions, because you don't want to be envious or jealous of that guy, because he has something to relay to you if you're not as wealthy. So a lot of all of this is energy. Everything that I'm saying, everything that I'm talking about has some correlation. And it's like the TV shows that you watch, like everything that you watch on TV. It was funny, we were watching the show. It was a little too dark and we stopped watching it. It was Doom Patrol, me and my girlfriend. And there was this guy who had this like stuff wrapped on his face. And then we saw a guy at a playground with something wrapped around his face. And also I was watching a TV show with one of the actors from Supernatural, Jared Padalecki, Walker. He did a new version of that show. And then I saw the car, the Mustang with the top down, while I was in my girlfriend's car and we were driving. And as we were leaving the playground, I saw the same car that was on the same show. That means that everything is a spiritual experience. Everything has a correlation. Everything has circuitry. Everything has electricity. There's always a polarity. So it's kind of like, it's like when we go live here, if we're promoting a sense of lack, unworthiness, no conviction, no faith, no stability within our thoughts and our emotions, then when you go live, that's what's going to happen. So as we're going live, we're living a prophecy. A lot of us don't realize that we're prophesying our own destinies all the time. And we just have no clue of it. We don't realize that we're doing it, but we are really doing it. And so that's why I've tried to empower my message even more. I try to stay away from talking about stuff that is negative, unless it has to happen. But then even if I do talk about something negative, I have to bring some resolution and I have to bring some balance to it. So everything is spiritual. Everything is an experience past transcendence. So you allow yourself to see that there is nothing that is not made of the divine essence. Everything is made of your consciousness. You're always projecting what you want out there. So what you attract to yourself is the ability to have the conviction and the faith and the wherewithal to surround yourself with the energy that is most in vibrational alignment with who you are at this moment in time. So you allow yourself to see that by doing this, you become the twin heart, because you're letting go of fear. You're letting go of restriction. You're letting go of what holds you back, because everything will cost you everything in this life. As you are a spiritual being of love and light, everything will cost you, but it's costing you all the things that are limiting you and holding you back. That are holding you back. That are limiting you. That are trying to put you in a category. So you have to generate this experimentation of enlightenment, and you have to know that theories are not just theories. What you think is not just what you think. What you assume is not what you think it actually is, and that's why the spiritual journey is very, very mysterious. That's why the spiritual journey is very mysterious. So you allow yourself to embody every experience, embody every type of state of being, and allows you to flow and allows you to relax and have that peace and have that confidence within yourself to have what you want and to be fearless in the things that you do. I noticed that as I've grown on the path, that I'm not as nervous to do things. I'm not so nervous to do things. I'm not so nervous to try new things. And ultimately, I'm never afraid to receive, even if it's very painful. Like earlier, before I started this live, I actually was very emotional. I was listening to music that made me very emotional, that brought things out of me. But it was transmuting any energy I needed to let go of. It was like powering me up, like on a video game, if you will. So we're a lot like the character in the video game. We have our health bar, we have our strength, our dexterity, our agility, our endurance, And every single day, we're just kind of like leveling up our agility, our strength, our endurance. And a person said, "Are you clairaudient?" As you mentioned, hearing God. So I don't claim that I'm one thing. I can do a multitude of things with my gifting, and I'm not saying that out of arrogance. I'm just saying that I do healings, meditations, I can hear information, I channel my higher self. So there's no limitation to what you can do is really what I'm saying, telling you about my gifts. We all have gifts. So we all have gifts to give, and we all have a way of being of service, and we all have a way to love each other and to bring greater awareness to what we can do. So don't put a limitation on yourself. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't put yourself in a category, and just know that you're infinitely loved, and that you're here to bring your gifts into awareness, and you're allowing yourself to transcend the mind and the body so that you can allow yourself to become the soul. I will answer some of your guys' questions because I like doing that to let you guys know. I do see your guys' comments. With your gifts, did you progress into it? I met my girlfriend 3 years ago, and she told me about my anointing, and I had a psychic appointment in Arizona and a psychic appointment with another gentleman. So that's how I awakened. I was not always aware of them, and by the grace of God, because I met her, is the reason why I'm here. And I actually had a message about that a long time ago. Not a long time ago, it was actually probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, with Sasquatch telling me that that's why it happened. So we always have a reason why we meet specific people on our journey, because they relay to us and are teachers for us so that we can awaken to greater wisdom. And our greatest teacher is ourselves. It's the lies, it's the ego, it's the vanity, it's the lust, it's everything. It's always our greatest teachings, and realizing who you are now and then going from there, and never looking back and knowing that it'll never be the same from where it was. So I'm going to see if my guides and team want me to say anything, but I think we'll do a meditation. And also, I want to give you guys a shout out and let you guys know that you can book private sessions with me, $70 for 1 hour, $60 for a healing session, and $50 for a psychic class. Cashapp, whitewolftheoracle, paypal.me/Jacob Dylan Wolf. Just let me know time, date, and day, and we'll get started with a meditation, and I'll answer one more question. Can you suggest exercises to help with patients' breathing? Just taking a moment to stop thinking. Taking a moment to just let yourself be. But also taking a moment to have that look in the mirror and accepting yourself too. Also, just being alone and also being out in nature is what I would suggest for you. So we're going to do a meditation. So if you want to take part in this meditation, if you want to allow yourself to be open and receptive and also accept this meditation, and just know that I set up protection for all of you who receive this live. I've had to do that here recently, and I wish I would have done it years ago, because I've had some instances where I've been on live feeds, and I want to protect you guys. I want to make sure that you guys are safe. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So acceptance, 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 and take a big deep breath in. Allow yourself to tap into your vibration. Allow yourself to encompass the mind, encompass the heart, and encompass the body, and allow the soul to be a part of your vessel once again. A lot of us forgot our soul. A lot of us forgot our higher selves. A lot of us forgot about our mastery, our divine wisdom. A lot of us forgot how to be more sensitive, to embrace our empathic abilities, but also embrace the ability to hear from spirit. A lot of us forgot who we really were. But don't forget who you are. Don't forget where you came from. But know yourself now and be proud of the person that you are now. Allow yourself to download that infinity signature within your causal chakra. And we also have Metatron's cube that we're going to download as well. And we're also going to have Notre Dame's download the sense of being prophetic. Download the sense of allowing ourselves to tap into our abilities, but also allow ourselves to be accurate in what we are saying. So he's going to lay a book out for you guys, and in this book can be predictions, can be depictions, can be visions, can be things that you write down in your metaphysical journal. But really what he's trying to simulate for you all is that we have the ability to use our gifts as a way of blessing. And what he's really relaying to me is that he wants us to be more accurate in how we're reading, how we're relaying, how we're allowing ourselves to be, because of the way that his life went. And I recommend researching Notre Dame a lot, because so many things that he said were very, very immaculate and prophetic, and they were true, and a lot of the predictions that he had came true, but they weren't in chronological order, because he was not as gifted to receive that, and he didn't know how to control his gifting, he says. So allow that to be your notebook of metaphysical wisdom and teaching and love. And just allow yourself to be the twin heart. Allow yourself to be the mind, the body, and the spirit. And we're also going to accept our higher selves. So just say that I accept my higher self. I accept the wisdom of God source energy manifested in the human body. And I accept my higher self's wisdom. And I fully embrace having conviction, having faith, having empowerment, because this is the way that I want to live, because I don't want to be based in the way that humans live on a day-to-day basis. They live on a linear cause and effect, but we live on a non-physical cause and effect. We live on a metaphysical cause and effect. So we allow ourselves to transcend the human condition, have support systems because we're becoming the support system, and we're also becoming a vortex of creation when we accept our higher selves. So this is when we become a spiritual guide for others. We become a leader. We become a person who embraces the masculine and the feminine energies. And we become a person of power without having to exude that power. So this is when we channel, if you will. So this is when we channel. And we channel from a good place of energy, from the river of source. The energy of the heavens. The energy of the angelic realms, and also from a density of consciousness of sixth density energy signature. The reason why they want a lot of people at sixth density conscious level is because it's balance and harmony. Now, if we get too technical, if we get too outside of our own realm that we're supposed to be in, a lot of humans channel from sixth density consciousness, like Jesus and Nostradamus and Joan of Arc, a lot of those people, Edgar Casey, if you will. So a lot of these people in different time periods are channeling this high vibration, but they didn't have the resources to be able to control it, but also be able to psychically protect themselves, but also have it in a balanced and unified, loving way. Just know that your angels are angels. Just know that your fairies are fairies. And know that your dragons are dragons. And we're getting past the realm of deception. And that's why many of us are channeling our gifts. Because we're bringing the gifts that keep on giving. And it's a way of service. It's a way of love. It's a way of being unconditional. And it's a way of being true and honest in our vibration once again. So we allow ourselves to be true and honest with our vibration. And we allow ourselves to relay in a way that's very graceful. And we see what people need at that point in time. Instead of going above their head, and we're not stooping to a lower level, but that's what I mean, that we ground to remember so that we're a unifying, loving being. Because if we don't, then we're not going to be able to comprehend it or receive it, or then we would act out of arrogance and ego and vanity. So we don't have to retain knowledge, if you will. We don't have to retain all the information. That's why when we channel, that's why the knowledge is present. That's like when we're giving psychic readings, when we're giving someone a healing or a third eye activation, we're allowing ourselves to be assistants to the recipient. You're just giving them a nudge in the right direction. And you're allowing yourself to channel off of the energies that are present, not off of other people, but to channel from the energies that are with your counsel, that are with your spirit, and also with your higher self. So this is when we transcend what the third dimension is. This is when we understand about elevating the energy and questioning ourselves and checking ourselves before we wreck ourselves, is because we allow ourselves to be from a standpoint of the light and the energy and the vibration that supersedes all understanding. Truth always stands, and truth supersedes all understanding. And what's special is that we get to play again. We get to carry the sacred flame. We get to carry the torch to another generation. We get to be teachers, but we also get to be brothers and sisters. We get to be family. And it doesn't mean because we're aligning to the bloodlines, the extraterrestrial bloodlines and the angelic bloodlines, and also severing those ties that we have with other places and things, and getting out of the generational curses and getting out of a vibration that is muddled because we've broke open the seals, if you will. We broke open the energy. And we allowed the light to come in fully. Fully embrace. A fully embraced, rejoiced energy. This is full acceptance. This is the full recognition of enlightenment. So everybody take one last deep breath. Exhale. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this live feed. I had no clue that that was going to happen. I had no clue that I was going to experience that. I did not know, because I remember I researched Notre Dame heavily when I first started. I wrote like notes all night one time. I stayed up real late studying him. And Edgar Casey too. Joan of Arc and Jesus are very prominent people that showed us how to be human, really human. And the falselyhood of humanity, like exposing humanity, exposing what is lacking, and exposing what needs to be cleared. So I want to thank you guys. You can book a private session with me for $70, $60 for a healing session, and also $50 for a psychic class. Thank you guys so much for being a part of that meditation. I hope you enjoyed the message, and I want to thank you. Thank you so much. God bless, and namaste.